fresh meat!
Alright, hey everybody, Yullbrenna here with another Ability Arena gameplay video, and this time we're going to be playing Lady Anshu. Lady Anshu is one of my favorite gods in the game. I love the mechanic, it's very unique, but it has some certain things that need to happen before you can play it. So what does Anshu do? You select a unit, and that will have a 17% damage reduction, and then once that unit dies, any units or heroes that died during the battle will be resurrected with a portion of their HP, and that's determined on how many units are have died. So in the early game, really, you're just going to have one unit die essentially, and then you'll have your backline unit respawn. And so that means they'll respawn with 50% of their HP. But into the late game, you're going to have the unit respawn with about 17%, I think it was 15% of their HP. And so you're really going to want to bring a lot of healing spells into the game, or a lot of instant attack spells to essentially, once your units respawn, they can instantly attack, stun, damage the opponent, and finish it off. So when talking about what those spells would be, you can see I've grabbed a Phonic Shield and I've grabbed a Brain Sap. So that'll protect my unit, and then of course steal some damage and hopefully get it. And just missed another Brain Sap that would have won me the round in the meantime. Also, like Mist Coil, another healing spell, so you're going to want to look for these healing spells, but I do want to prioritize a Phonic Shield and Brain Sap. They're going to have low cooldowns too, and you shouldn't have to worry about mana because when they respawn, I believe they respawn with full mana, so it shouldn't be an issue in that aspect. So here you can see good example of them respawning and getting the Brain Sap up, the Phonic Shield. Got a lot of just early game good spells here, but Boundless Strike, that's definitely going to be something I bring into play. And then the one thing that I really play with Anshu is you really need to have either Borrowed Time or Shadow Dance in play, and the reason for that is you want your unit really to be the last one to survive to get the most out of the respawn. And those two spells are going to make sure that your unit most likely doesn't die first. And then of course you're going to want to protect them as well, put them on the back line, most likely. So grabbing some more frontline, figured Pulse Nova should work out really well. Doom doesn't have the best mana pool, but should work out pretty well. So throwing Blink on him, get him to the back line. He may die, but he'll resurrect. And then going for Blood Rage. I forgot to put Cold Embrace into play, but another spell that'll help on the respawn. So didn't even need it there, and I'm going for Tricks of the Trade. One of the reasons I'm going for Tricks of the Trade is that when I'm blinking to the backline with Pulse Nova, it could get a little dicey, and then when you're in Tricks of the Trade, you can still cast Pulse Nova, so you're doing damage while invulnerable, so big bonus for that one. So definitely something I want to target. Going for an instant attack build as well in this, so that's why I'm locking shot for coup de grace. I'll use that with Boundless Strike as well. So here's where it can get a little dicey if your backline unit is getting attacked first, but luckily it has a little bit of survivability, and that's where Shadow Dance would come into play, so your unit doesn't get targeted down all the way. And there's Shadow Dance, so I'm going to immediately put that into play. That'll help with survivability. Burrowstrike, a really good spell that I like to pick up in a Lady Anshu build because of the instant attack. It's just an instant stun, so I really like that. And then picking up Acorn Shot with Boundless Strike, coup de grace, should work out pretty well. Doom has a pretty low mana pool, so I do need the Arcane Aura, so I'll probably put that out on the next unit for a spellcaster. And there's one of the issues. You can see not a lot of healing. So once my units revived, they kind of got to get out their spells, hopefully do some damage, and survive. But one of those things that'll change that is getting Sunder. Sunder has a long cooldown, but at super, it'll go down to a significant amount, I think about 8 seconds. So you'll be able to get it off potentially twice. Your unit may be the first to die and get off a Sunder, but it should be off cooldown by the time it respawns, and then it can immediately cast Sunder because it's going to be at low health, and it'll respawn back to full. So Sunder, a great spell to use into a Lady Anshu build. You can see nothing popped up, so I kind of just re-rolled to try to find some spells I would want. That happens when you have a full bench. And now I've got my caster in, so get a lot of healing spells there. Get some mana regen as well. And one of the fun, so you can see I'm getting multiple stuns off on the Undying. The Undying, yeah, it may not be able to cast both of these, but definitely when it respawns, it's going to be able to cast these spells. So there's the instant attacks right there. You can see they've run out of mana, but I've got full mana. Hopefully I can get it, but unfortunately, just the mana regen wasn't there for me. Doom can't cast any of his spells anymore, and I run out. So I definitely need to find a way to gain some more mana back. That's where maybe Nasal Goo could come into play with Arcane Aura. If I'm constantly casting that, hopefully I can get some mana back for the Doom. So I'll try to put that into play. Here's this player that DC'd, a little unfortunate, but they should be out soon. And I'll go ahead and level up to shop 4. Lady Anshu is not shop dependent, so you can kind of just stay at shop 4 if needed, unless you're being greedy and you want to go to shop 5, or later in the game you can go to shop 5. Laser, another great spell, that's good instant attack, a lot of damage, and it'll prevent you from getting attacked. Hex also has a really quick cast, so that's something you could pick up as well in an Anshu build. Paralyzing cast, another good one too. They're definitely going to be grouped up a little bit there. And I used the extra gold to reroll, so probably use Shadow Fiend as my Shadow Dance unit, so definitely be switching that around. See, I'm struggling here a little bit with attack modifiers. You know, I've got the survivability, the instant attacks end up doing it, but yeah, the survivability for the attack damage, I need an attack modifier for sure. So I will probably go with the Monkey King for the instant attack build, Boundless Strike, coup de grace, Acorn Shot, and figure out what I want on the last one. Switching around a few spells here. And right now, you know, it's just about survivability, change up the buff, and shuffling a lot of spells around. And I eventually got to reroll that Witch Doctor as well. Perfect instant attacks, so I went well on a good winning streak. Mystic Flare shows up. That one is another low cooldown spell. Again, more instant attacks, more instant damage. So I'll throw that out. I want to, with Grimstroke reviving, I do want him to cast survivability spells first so he doesn't instantly die, and then he'll cast the Mystic Flare. And I'll use this 2 gold to reroll, and I get Kunkka, so that works out really well. Pretty solid and on builds and bodies right now. Shadow Fiend doing some good damage, but pretty much just has the Blood Rage and the Shadow Dance. I definitely need to get some attack modifiers on him so he can really be the carry. coup de grace with Anchor Smash that could work out really well. Same with Moment of Courage. Could use that. A little indecisive here. Just trying to figure out what attack modifiers I could use. Accidentally reroll and mess up my selling of the spells, so I'll just probably sell Anchor Smash and Lock Shop. On a roll here, like I said, Lady Anshu, you've got Shadow Dance. I would say that's the key spell you want to find, and you can work your spells around that. Other spells, of course, you could use Borrow Time instead if you really want to play Lady Anshu with that, but I like Shadow Dance the most. And a lot of good spells showing up. I've only got 6 gold here, so I'll try to shuffle things around. First place on a winning streak, really showing the power of Lady Anshu. See if I can keep this going here. Getting a little stun lock so I don't get off the Shadow Dance, but everybody survives and come back and you get that instant damage. So you're getting the Boundless Strike, you're getting the Burrowstrike, you're getting the instant blink, you're getting the Photic Shield, Brain Sap. There's a lot of spells that just get off quickly that can immediately change the fight. And I think this is what you want to look for when you're building your Lady Anshu. It's just having that ability to immediately turn the fight, because you're going to be responding with such low damage. You need instant attacks and you need heals. Going strong here. Sunder still not at level 6, so it's pretty hard to get off, but the Burrowstrike is working out well, and I'm going to go for the Photic Shield, try to get it all the way to Gaben. I really want to try to make this instant attack build work with Acorn Shot, Boundless Strike. I don't do instant attack builds too often, so I'm kind of forcing it a little bit, even though Acorn Shot may not be a win condition for me. Get the Shadow Dance off. Shadow Fiend was doing some serious damage there. Oh, unfortunately, Grimstroke gets hexed and can't get off any of his spells. That was really unfortunate. The short cast of a Photic Shield and Brain Sap probably prevented him. I bet if I had Mystic Flare first, I could have done it, but I do want to keep those first, just for the respawn. So Time Lock, Moment of Courage. I think I want a little bit of healing on the Shadow Fiend. I think Luminosity will do a little bit better on him. And I'll kind of Lock Shop. Don't have the spell or the gold to switch it around, but for the moment we'll keep it like this until I find a time I want to switch it. Didn't get the perfect respawn. Not all my units respawn, but I think it worked out really well. Gunka did a good job, and Doom is dealing a lot of damage as well. Has a little bit of spell lifesteal with the Paladin Sword. I'd ideally like to get that to Gaben, or find another, Dagon or some sort of spell lifesteal. Get the Shadow Dance off. Just doing some really good damage here. And there's the good show of the instant attacks, so able to clean it up there. Going for Blood Rage Super, I'd like to get that on the Monkey King, just to make him more powerful, so they both have the attack speed bonus. So that's the reason I'm going past level 3 on that, but it is one of those spells that, it's one of the top 5 spells in the game as far as win rate, so something you want to target. Gonna hit a lot here, even with the Shadow Dance off. Just all those spells. And unfortunately, the laser, the Nimbus, the Lightning Bolt, there was a lot of magical burst damage that was tough to come back from. So, good build from the Coddle, especially after the recent buff. Something, maybe a build I'll need to watch out for. Shadow Fiend doing serious work in the Shadow Dance. And that helps turn the tide. We're in the top 5, but you can see a lot of these guys have low health, so we're definitely entering the late game here. Potentially paralyzing cast, because Chakra Magic is just not showing up for me. There's potential I throw that in. You can see Chakra Magic is just taken by a lot of people, super contested, so maybe I grab that, but then I find Blood Rage Super, so I'll just sell it for the time being, and put Blood Rage Super, so now Monkey King is getting that, and can hopefully do a little bit more damage. Getting crazy amount of damage from this Coddle build, really strong. But Mystic Flare is just such a good spell, and Grimstroke helps me take out that guy. So I called a build while it was pretty strong. Luckily took it out, and feeling good about the rest of these builds. Got Sunder to Super, so looking really good there. Kind of going for a lot of stuff, almost there on Brain Sap, which will be a big game changer. Backline damage was a lot, and this guy finally got to me. I can see Pulse Nova is contested, so I may not be getting that to Gaben, so I might as well just grab the Bloodstone, and I can always throw it onto the Grimstroke if needed to. So Bloodstone, really good spell. Chakra Magic finally showing up now that other people that were going for it are dead, so it makes it a little easier. Then there's the Brain Zap Gaben, so now it's getting the Enfeeble and the AoE as just like a huge upgrade on the Gaben. It's a total game changer for the spell. Yeah, if you can get it to Gaben, it really makes a difference. It shuts down physical carries with the Enfeeble, and then just the amount of damage you're doing. Avoiding that damage that happened last time from the backline jumper, so that's why I switched Shadow Fiend. This guy's got a lot of heals, so I didn't kill a lot of people. I get the Shadow Dance off, and Shadow Fiend's just going crazy. Hopefully I can kill this Shadow Fiend off. I don't get it off. You can see, boom, the instant attack is just immediate. And I finish him off. And the Lace Stealer build that I had lost to previously just went out of the game, so I've beaten this guy. Looking in a good spot here. I'll just focus on going for the Gabens, although I would like to get Blink Super. So I'm close on a few spells here. Looking at the backline, I'm not too worried about a lot of it. He does have a lot of healing with the Oracle, So potentially if I can silence him, which is where Doom is blinking, so let's see if that'll happen. Let's see if I can finish this guy off. Does get the heal off, unfortunate. Shadow Fiend survives with the Shadow Dance. And I get that Oracle dead. Maybe even, and I get the Shadow Fiend dead. So this should be done and dusted. Let's see what happens. Yeah, immediately explosion. So really fun Lady Anshu build. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope this helped in your future games when you play Lady Anshu. Like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff. And I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy.